Hey everyone, this is Livia Cadal, your host for the Conscious Wealth Builders Online Summit, Creating Prosperity with Your Higher Purpose. And I have the honor of interviewing the beautiful, lovely, amazing Zayna De Gaia. Thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor.
I want to
And
be with you through this lens, like really make contact through technology. Hi, Livia.
isn't it so cool what we can accomplish through technology? It is. It's so awesome. Oh my gosh, girlfriend, we were just sharing, a little bit about, who you are and what you're up to in the world. I mean, you're just a woman of so much power and so much talent, so many gifts. You're just a healer, you're a messenger to bring love into the world and to transform the world. And that's why I have you on this summit, because what you're up to and who you are is so in alignment with this message and this movement, which is really how do we create a world that works, specifically inside of businesses and bringing consciousness to business?
Mm, Livia, thank you so much. Thank you for creating this conversation for us to participate in.
Yeah.
It's like that's what there is to do right now is create new worlds to live into,
Mm,
and
so
create things
true.
that really work for everybody and for Gaia Ma, our mother, our earth, our planet, our
Mm,
home, and take care of everything.
it's so
So,
beautiful. Yes.
yes, let's have businesses follow the mantra Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free.
That's beautiful. Thanks for adding that. That's so cool. So, who you are, you're
Yes.
like a world renowned speaker. I mean, you've traveled all over the world speaking. You're a phenomenal yoga teacher, not just any yoga teacher. I mean, you are seriously top notch. Like, you're good. I've had the privilege to be in several of your classes, and I always
Thank you.
leave feeling completely transformed. And so, and then you're also
Thank
an
you, Livia.
author, and you're a coach, and you're a healer, and you're just all these amazing things. And
Livia, you know me personally, and you can, we're both comedians, and rappers. I'm a rapper too. I wrap sandwiches
yes,
and I wrap sushi and I wrap beats and rhymes that open people's hearts and, shift their minds.
it's so true. It's so true. Yes.
But yes, I I discovered probably about 15 years ago that what was really important for me is serving.
Yeah.
And I came to that through, life when big life things happen and it throws us to our knees and we're like, God, just show me the way. And the way for me was serving. And you would love this. That's where I discovered praying. And not only praying, but I discovered praying for others. And
Mm.
that became a practice from that. But yes, bringing um, all of that to this.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome. And I love what you said because I really truly feel that that is the reason and purpose for creating businesses is to serve people. And
Yes.
you are so servant oriented and you've, participated in co-ownership and running a very successful yoga studio that is, world renowned. I mean, you guys are known across the world. I love yoga and you've participated in that and you've got your other things going on as well. But you've just been so focused on serving others. And I really feel like we sometimes in the business world get off track from that. And that's what
Yes.
this really is how can we serve people? And you have a very powerful message that speaks to that.
Thank you. Well, I love what we call business. It's an opportunity to express ourselves and serve something to the world, right? So, our yoga studio, I Love Yoga, it's been around for about, I want to say 10 years now, but at different locations. And one of the things that really makes it tick and makes it really special is we have programs where people can come and apprentice with us, work with us, learn the business part of this spiritual world and business that we're in and understand it. And one of the biggest things that makes it work is we get really interested in people. If you come and you work with me, I'm really interested in you. And understanding that, whatever business we're in, we don't have an alternative to not be interested in people.
Yes.
Because if you're going to create and you're going to create big, you need yourself a team, a team that you can create together and get
Yeah.
down with, and be reliable and have a high level of communication and integrity with.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
So
And
we can move energy and
yeah.
serve in a
Yeah.
big way. You
Yeah.
taught me that, Livia.
Aw,
Let's
vice
let's on
versa.
my wall here. Dream big, How big are you going to serve?
Yes, that's so awesome. And you know what? You were just sharing an awesome example, Lululemon, for instance.
Yes. I worked for Lululemon for a short period of time, and one of the things that they do is they empower their employees, and I thought that was so beautiful. Like they get that if by empowering people, they may lose certain people because they're going to discover that this is not their path or what their purpose is, and they'll go do something else. They actually don't have a high turnover like that, but giving people that freedom to express their purpose through any work that you do, whether it's trimming people's pants at Lululemon or folding the pants so they all match up, which I loved doing. But it was that kind of company that really like
Yeah.
takes care of people and is authentically interested in what matters to people, what's really important to them.
That's so awesome. And like you said, you're so great at that. Even in my experience, when I came to I Love Yoga to be a part of the yoga teacher training, you would sit down with people and really get in our worlds and like really discover, like what are we out to have a transformation in? Not just to come do a yoga class. Like anyone could come and do that, but you really get in people's worlds and ask them those questions.
Yeah. And it's really discovering that everywhere we go, there's people, and when we get interested in what matters to people, we get in their worlds, and then there can be really authentic conversations that happen. In the workplace, it's like people put on masks, and that's what we do. We put on masks everywhere that we go. So bringing conversation of being authentic means that you remove the masks and you can be yourself,
Yeah.
even at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what helps people do that is we bring in different practices, different disciplines like yoga, meditation, and also creative and transformational work, so that people at work can start to relate to themselves and others at work in a different way, and also relate to work in a different way.
That's really cool. And you said that you've worked with, individuals and other organizations on, how they can really be more conscious. Can you share some things that you've done with
Yeah.
communities and different organizations?
Yes. Yes. I work with individuals. I work with couples, families, and organizations. I really, when you are saying what I do, I follow my heart, and I'm always being me, which is my expertise is to bring love and harmony everywhere I go. So right now, Olivia, my love is working with families,
Yeah.
a lot more than, I do businesses, and I'll tell you what I do with businesses in a second, but what I'm doing with families is specializing with parents with young children,
Yeah.
and that is like my passion right now. I love working with the youth and with their parents. So, but
Yeah.
the work I do is the same. Is I feel and know what's needed based on where people are, and really finding out what matters to them and getting in their worlds. So
Yeah.
with businesses, I've done things like do yoga classes. Now yoga is an amazing tool. It's a way of thinking. It's a perspective on life in some way, and it can unfold in so many different ways. We can teach people to be present by focusing on their breath. We can teach people to be alive by bringing drums to the workplace and getting people to open up their voice and be heard and not be afraid to hear themselves, so then they can
Mm,
communicate with their coworkers and their managers and their employees in a different way. But what we also do, we bring in authenticity and communication exercises and practices, so that people can begin to really listen to each other,
that's so
and
awesome.
have time to um, have time to meditate in workplace. A lot of businesses now have meditation, and it's great to have that, and then also create a context around the meditation. Is
Yeah.
that creating a space where there's love and there's harmony and there's authentic communication.
That's so awesome. I love it. I love it. And, I share in the welcome video to this summit about, my journey of looking around the world and really see why things are not working. And what you're pointing to are things that we could really implement that do make a real difference. Like having your full self expression, feeling heard, really getting in your customers' world, like getting in people's worlds and finding out what's important to them.
Yes. One thing I'm doing at the studio now, it's so much has been, when you look from that space, there's so much that's available. Calling people who have come to the yoga studio just to really recreate, listen to their experience of when they come to take classes, and then have them be heard. And I train people to just listen, to just call people on the phone and just listen to them. And there's so much magic and miracles that happens inside of that. And yes, training your employees to speak to customers, but to create environments where people who work together, co-workers, are empowered by one another. They're cooperating rather than competing, and really listening for each other's greatness and causing that. Like,
Yeah. Well, and the effectiveness of that, I mean, there's no reason to have to step over people and their well-being to make a profit. We look around and there's still a lot of, companies, operating inside of this old paradigm of profit maximization. And they're not listening to their customers, they're not listening to their employees. It's just money. That's all they care about, money and numbers. And that's what this movement is. It's really just celebrating companies like Whole Foods, Lululemon, and that they're examples of what's possible in the world. And, you're just such a leader, really ushering in and being that transformation in the world. So thank you for sharing these important principles.
thank you.
Yeah,
And Livia, I appreciate you mentioning those companies. And I'm also just present to the thousands of light workers that are like that have small businesses and that are walking that walk and talking
they
that
are.
talk.
Yeah,
Conscious communities being created. And I'm
yeah.
thinking about the Dakota pipeline issue that's going on up there, and the people standing for water. And that's the same issue. Is like the water is being protected, and
Mm,
the only thing that's coming to get the water is the profits. But thinking first about the earth, about life, which is water, which is us. So
yes,
shifting that paradigm, I'm so grateful to be in a conversation where we're creating a new world.
yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. People, planet, prosperity. That's what this movement really is all about. It really truly is. And, your insights and what you're bringing to this conversation are so rich. Like you said, there's so much magic in just getting in people's worlds and really truly caring about people, caring about the earth, and you can create prosperity. Like, you are a powerhouse. Let me tell you, when you say, I want to go to California to support a cause, you manifest support and money for you to do whatever it is that your heart desires. You're never without or a lack of. And that really is a prosperous consciousness.
Thank you, Livia.
Yeah,
I it took me a while to get this. Like I've been in it and not realizing what I've been in. And what it is like when you serve a greater purpose,
yeah,
it's very graceful and easy. It's touching, moving, and inspiring. It's it's everybody is that.
yeah.
We're doing a campaign right now for it's got several names to it, but it's under the campaign of Rocking Your Red Lips, which is a
Yes.
campaign that brings awareness for men and women to speak up about being sexually abused and all of this.
Yeah.
And we've partnered with several companies, and we're creating a campaign and workshops to support people to transform this, and heal from sexual trauma.
Yeah.
So there are so many people that are bringing light to this, and um, these are all conscious business people who are putting themselves out there
Yeah.
to transform all of these issues.
Yeah, and that's really, again, I can't stress it enough. Like, that's my heart. for people is to really use business as a force for good and to be able
Yeah.
to, and not, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the word like to try to fix the world's problems because I don't have it like there's anything that's wrong and needs to be fixed. However, we could really evolve ourselves to really live in a world that's harmonious in these kinds of things. So, what would it take for us to really use business as a force for transformation? And to really
Yes.
elevate and evolve such that poverty doesn't exist. Like, poverty is a low vibration. It's like it's not
Yes.
necessary, right? Starving
Yeah.
children, that's like a distribution issue, right? And that's like there's a greed factor there. So those are the lower vibrations. So if we raise our consciousness and really focus on people serving, like you're saying, we could really transform the world and use business as a tool to do that. And that's what I'm
Yes, ma'am.
seeing.
It's like businesses are teams of people, in partnerships out to cause what there is to cause.
Yeah.
Like this. This is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
totally.
looking forward to hearing all the speakers. 'Cause
Yeah,
this is like
definitely.
really getting out the consciousness of, that everything matters.
Yeah,
Everything you do matters.
yeah, yeah. No, that's really awesome. And, you working with families, by the way, just because it's not necessarily specifically inside of their business, like the what you're taking on right now, that impacts your business life as well. Because it's not like there's your business life and then your family life. No, it's like this is your life and it's all interconnected. So, how you operate
Yeah.
in your family is how you're going to operate in your business. I see that so often that, CEOs, if they have unresolved issues, in their family, it's like they hide out in their business
Absolutely.
and then they're driven to try to prove to their parents who may be
Yes.
not alive anymore, right? So it's cool what you're doing because you're healing in a very awesome way.
Yes.
That's definitely has an impact on the economy and
Oh,
businesses and
that's it's so huge what you just said, and it is. And there's a lot of companies who are out doing great things, and they may not be nurturing their people in that way. And that is bringing transformation to the workplace and that authenticity where you can be yourself. There's no roles we have to put on, whether
yeah,
I'm at work or I'm at home.
yeah,
And it's pretty cool.
yeah.
I love it. It's the Mark, is it Mark? Yeah, Mark Twain quotes. Oh no, that's the Violet one. I'll tell you that one in a second. That's the forgiveness one, which I love. But the one about, work and play when they just merge together and
Mm,
you
yeah.
can't tell which one is which. It's an extraordinary life. It's a created life.
Oh, that's so
And,
beautiful.
to have people in the workplace who relate to their jobs that way is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody's living a purposeful life.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I love that. And I'm here just in my mind thinking, okay, there may be some people out there and they don't maybe they're blocked, like they don't know how to get in someone else's world, right? They're like so up here in their head, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
how do I authentically get interested in people when all I can think about is how am I going to pay my bills? How, you know what I mean? Like all that survival stuff that's going
Yes.
on. So can you give
Yes.
like maybe some tools around how to get authentically interested in people? Because I know you and we've done a lot of
Absolutely.
work to get to where we're at. So, but we
Yes.
weren't
Oh
always there.
gosh. Well, there's a few things. I mean, first of all, you've got to master your time and your energy. You have to be a master of your time and your energy. Like that's what life is. So, in order for me to be here with you and to be here with you and just there's nothing else that's on my mind besides this moment, which is all we have. It's an illusion that I can think of anything else right now and make it anything. It's just here. The
Yeah.
only way I can do that is because I have a calendar and I have everything scheduled. And I know that right now I have time with you scheduled. And I manage that in such a rigorous way that it gives me so much freedom in the present moment.
Oh, that's so great. So
Yeah,
time
that's something that, and
management.
one of the biggest thing that gets in the way for people of the time energy management thing is not being, well, saying yes too much or not saying no. And that could be for me, it's to myself, because every morning I wake up, I'm like, I'm going to start a new business. I'm going to start a new leadership club. I'm going to start, and I have to say, no, Zayna, not now. Let's put that on the shelf, okay? And then I have a shelf everything goes on. So everything is still there, but it may not be happening today, and that's okay. So that's the first thing, is to be able to be with people. You've got to have yourself set up that you can really, really be present and there. And then
Oh,
there's,
that's so
and
great.
we do this in the workshops that we bring to companies is, listening is a very generous act, and it's it's all of communication. So practicing how we listen, there's levels we could listen at,
Yeah.
bringing this into the culture of organizations. It creates people that can listen and recreate others, um, people who can listen and hear people's commitment and speak to that.
Yeah.
That level of listening that creates worlds, how we
Yeah.
listen to each other. So that comes with practice. And the first thing I would do is, it's something I learned at Landmark. It's called recreative listening. And it's a very simple thing, is when you're speaking to somebody, just follow their words word for word. It's like a meditation. And then you can even start to repeat their words. So as I'm speaking,
Yeah.
you're repeating what I'm saying word for word.
I'm repeating
This is
what
a
you're
practice. I
saying
actually
word
do
for
that when I
word.
supervise courses. That's how I recreate the leaders from the back of the room.
That
It's
is,
powerful.
it is so powerful. And my goodness, it is something that's so challenging for me. And I get it's challenging for a lot of people.
Oh, yes. It's the same, it's meditation. So that's another thing too, is, incorporating some practice of meditation in your
Yes.
world. And, if sitting there and just listening to your breath just drives you a little crazy, I find this one a little bit more accessible, like
Yeah.
just when you're in conversations, and it's during the whole day, whenever you're having conversations, just be with people. See,
Yes.
there's listening. We think it happens here. It happens out here. So I have to go sit on your shoulder and listen to from you.
Yeah, so basically, kind of what because I'm a visual person, and maybe some of the viewers who are also visual, like to really be with someone is to like literally get yourself over there with them. Like you said, kind of plant yourself on their shoulder. So
Yeah.
literally, there's no thoughts going on over here. It's just all you can hear is their words that are coming out of their mouth, and that's it.
You know what's
And to train
scary
your
about
brain on
that?
how to do that.
Yes, we love to be in our heads.
I
When I
love to
started
be in
this
my
practice, I was like,
head.
this is so hard because I like being in my head. I'm strategizing, I'm thinking, I'm assessing it, I'm thinking what I may say. So it's like when you're in the present moment,
Yeah.
it's a muscle that you develop of trusting yourself in that moment to be out here, because it's a little bit risky being out here. I'd rather be in here where I
Oh,
can think.
I love how you said that. It's risky. And
Hmm.
expand on that word. What's risky about that? What
Well,
causes that feeling of a risk?
that's what it feels like for me when I'm out here. Like when I coach people, I can't be in my head.
Yeah.
I have to be out here with them, which puts me, what feels risky about it is like, what if I don't know what to say or where to go with this?
Oh,
Which I
that little
won't.
voice that's always talking, right? Like,
Yes.
what are they saying? I really want to figure it out. I don't want to get it wrong. Like, even in the interview when we first started, I'm like, really pay attention. Make sure you're getting what she's saying. Because if you're not getting it, you're going to screw it all up. And I'm like, shut up. This little voice is just nonstop. So, Z, I get it. Yeah. And it's so cool.
Interviewing is a great practice for that.
Yeah, definitely. And I love just being able to freely talk about it because now that we've shared it, it's just out there. I can just be even more present with you. Yeah.
Yes. I
So
always
that's
tell
cool.
people that when you're nervous, just say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, just get it out of the way. It just disappears, right? And then it's like,
Yes.
oh, okay, cool. So now that we've chatted about that, now that that's done, now I can just be with you, which is really
Yeah.
cool. That's beautiful. And that space is like it's yummy. Like you said, magic happens in that space. So can you share some examples of, you inside of I Love Yoga and the customers that you've and then just employees you've worked with, where you were getting in their world and perhaps just share
Yeah.
some of that magic that's unfolded, like on the
Oh
court.
God.
Do you
Oh
have anything
man.
I know I'm
I
putting you
mean,
on the spot.
it's all magic. What this creates, Livia, it creates community.
Yeah.
It creates tribe. That's the real deal, and that's the magic. Like the magic is my friends. Like I've always wanted sisters. I have so many sisters, and it's because we care about each other. I don't call you every day because we're all up to so much stuff, but we're
Yes.
sisters, and it's because we care about the things that we care about for each other, and we have common visions, and we care about the earth.
Yeah.
So, we run a teacher training program, and we offer people the option to do a energy exchange, so they work a part of their tuition.
Yes.
And the conversation is not that they can't afford it. The conversation is that they have an opportunity to serve in that way. And and every time we do a teacher training, I have a group of 10 to 15 people that suddenly work for me, and it's so exciting for me because I get to work with them, train them in day-to-day work things, and then also I take time, and this is part of the meetings that we hold, I take time to get to know them, to know what's important to them, to
Yeah.
find out how I can support them with either, my listening or my resources, or any advice or ideas that I can share.
Yeah.
And then this creates the magic. People
Mm.
start to create businesses, they start to pursue the things that they love, and they contribute so much to the community and to the center. And it becomes, I Love Yoga Studio is it's a community created and operated and loved space because everybody there owns a little piece of it in
Yeah.
their way, in their energy, in their time that they provide.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and that could
Mm.
be anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a yoga studio. It could be anywhere. And you do have businesses where people do feel that, and you can distinctly feel the love.
Yeah, and you know what? And so here's a conversation I have with my sister. So, like, she loves all of the benefits of yoga and the love and the peace, but she's like, but I just don't want to be like a yogi, you know? And so, like, there's this whole conversation in the world about consciousness and like bringing these kinds of ways of being into businesses, and there's somewhat of a resistance of like those are woo woo people and like all this stuff, right? There's all this we just make up stuff, right? And that's actually not the truth, right? Because at the end of the
Just
day,
gotta,
it's just love,
yeah.
it's serving, and you can bring it into any environment,
Absolutely.
you know?
It's people are craving it. It's being yourself, even like what a spiritual or yogi person means. Ultimately, just do your own thing, so you have such a variety of people
Yeah.
who, are on a conscious path, and I don't even want to call it yoga. Yoga is one path. It all leads to the same divine source and message and truth. And so, for me with businesses, I do tailor it. I think it's important to speak into people's listening and not bring things that are not appropriate or that may offend people, So in my studio, it's been probably about 5, 6 years now. I allow myself to say the word God and deal with that people may be offended or not, and that's just where I am. But I won't do that anywhere. I don't. I'm not. And you can feel like what works and what doesn't work in certain places. And the same thing when I work with families. If I go to a Jewish Orthodox family, I actually ask them, if they have music and songs that they would want to play, because it's really not about the Indian culture, which is where yoga comes from, which it needs to be acknowledged and honored, and the philosophy of life is universal. Be
Mm.
kind.
Loving, take care of each other. I mean, we all live on the planet, so it's not just a bunch of, tree huggers
Oh
that
God.
should be taking care of the planet, or you know what I mean? There's like this whole, it's just really, I'm out to disrupt the
You are the
world.
biggest tree hugger I know.
I am, and I'm so committed that that people align and they really get the importance of that. And you don't have to be
Yeah.
a tree hugger. You don't have to be a yogi. You don't have to sit around and sing kumbaya songs if that's not your forte. But take it, like it's just taking care of the planet. That's it. That's all we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
everybody has their way that they do it,
Yeah.
just bring it. Bring it. Look, I
Yes, bring
created
it.
gangsta
And
hip hop. Gangsta goddess hip hop. Okay, I rap to
yes.
transform the world. You could do whatever
Yes.
you want.
That's so awesome. That's so great. That's so cool. So, hey, Z, we're at 41 minutes. I can't believe it. Just time flies when I'm with you. It's
I
incredible.
love you.
I know.
You
And
are the first person I interviewed.
I know. Oh, so Zayna, so just so the viewers know, she has her own show. Actually, speak about that.
Z Nation Radio. I've completed that chapter for now, and we have archived like over 80 interviews about all kinds of like conscious businesses and people who
Amazing.
are doing extraordinary things in the world,
Yeah.
healers and like serious, serious people and woo-woo
Mm,
people, whatever you want to call it. But all these people are up to things. But right now, I'm still, Z Nation is morphed into, I don't know what to call it right now, but this is it right now.
that's so
You
awesome.
interviewing me is what it is.
That's beautiful. So, I know you have a free gift that you're going to give away. Can you just share a little bit about that? Because I know that you're also very much
Oh,
into health and nutrition, which is
yes.
so vital to being a conscious wealth builder, is being someone who takes care of their temple.
Yes. I have a book called Thank You for HPV, and it focuses on really transforming how you think about challenges, right? But one of the things I focus on is HPV is viral. So one way you deal with holistically with viral infections is you boost the immune system. And it's one of the things that's a big, issue right now is people are so anxious about stuff. They're anxious about HPV. They're anxious about the mosquito that kills you, and they're anxious about the stuff that's being sprayed in the air, and they're anxious about the fluoride in the water. So, my thing is like, F that, and just live the best life that you can. Be the happiest that you can, and be the healthiest that you can, and serve as much as you can. And so one of the parts about being the healthiest you can is having a vessel that has an immune system that's strong. So it doesn't matter who you are, or if you have HPV, or if you are dealing with any health issue, it's important to keep our immune system strong. This also allows us to think clearer, and be more connected to source.
That's
I'm
so
on a cleanse
awesome.
right now, Livia. I'm doing the master cleanse.
I know you
And
told me. Girl,
that's
go,
one of
girl.
the
That
reasons
is
I'm doing
not
it is
easy.
like, I want to like, connect to source deeper and think clearer and all
Mm,
of that.
that's
So,
awesome.
so the free gift is my grocery store checklist, or grocery store grocery list for boosting your immune system. And
That's
it's
so
a really
cool.
extraordinary list because it takes everyday, ordinary grocery store items, and it acknowledges them as superfoods, which they are. And
Yeah.
those are items that you want to have in your household. They're not like super expensive health food kind of foods, so they're great to know about and to keep stocked and boost your boost your immune system with and stay strong
Oh,
physically, mentally.
yeah, it's so important to be able to serve people. You have to have a body that's healthy and energized to be able to do that. So thank
Yes.
you for your
It's waking
contribution.
everybody up, Livia. Wake up.
Woo! Wake up. Your
Wake
body
up.
is your
Stop watching too
temple.
much TV and like get educated. All this stuff is out there,
Yeah.
and it's available for all of us to learn. And it's important to find out, what we can do to take care of ourselves and, our tribes and our families.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So Z, I know that, like I said, you cause breakthroughs in families, you cause breakthroughs in businesses, bringing consciousness to basically your whole life is who you are. You're really phenomenal at that. And so, what I highly suggest all the viewers do is click the link, get your free gift, and you're going to be sending them more information of how to really live a conscious life and how to create breakthroughs. And you're available for coaching as well. So I highly
Yes.
recommend, if you want to have some breakthroughs in any of those areas of your life, health and well-being, family, business, reach out to Z, because
Yes.
she's got the
So grateful
magic.
for the internet, this web that keeps us connected. But yes, if you feel the call, reach out. And I love technology that we can connect from anywhere in the world. So thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you, Livia, for inviting me to speak and share. It's an honor. I love you
I
and I
love
love
you
what you're up
too.
to. So, so blessed and so grateful to know you.
You as well. Thank you so much. And thank you for just being here, sharing your love with the world. So keep it up, girl. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for another awesome interview on the Conscious Wealth Builders Online Summit. Stay tuned to some more.